Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, a well-known Tullahoma resident was killed early Thursday morning when his car was struck by fleeing suspects involved in a police pursuit. A former Tullahoma resident recently made a nice donation to the Motlow College Books for Bins program. We'll tell you about a neat program coming up for kids at the CD Stamps this Friday. A Nashville judge says details of a sexual harassment investigation of a state representative can be made public. Tennessee's tax collections continue to exceed last year's levels, and we'll have more from Tom Corrington's interview with the candidates seeking the Democratic Party nomination for state senator. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
If you're in the market for a new vehicle, Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is worth the short drive for savings that can't be beat. Take home this 2015 Chevy Equinox, 0 down, just $299 a month. Or how about this 2015 Chevy Silverado Double Cab, 0 down, just $369 a month. And as always, we will match or beat any dealer's price. So come check us out or visit us online at stanmcnabb.com. But please don't forget, when it comes to the best deals, if anyone can, Stan can.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
With or without you, it's gonna be a beautiful day. Over 35 years and more than a dozen albums. Saturday, July 23rd, the City of Tullahoma presents U-Zoo, the unforgettable YouTube tribute band you won't want to miss. Experience all your favorite hits. Free from 6 to 10 p.m. at Fraser McEwen Park in Tullahoma. U-Zoo is the ultimate U2 tribute band. Full concessions available. Saturday, July 23rd from 6 to 10 p.m. at Fraser McEwen Park in Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Former Tullahoma Parks and Recreation Director Joe Moon was tragically killed in an automobile accident early Thursday morning when his truck was struck by a car fleeing police officers. The police chase had originated in Manchester when a car occupied by an 18-year-old girl and a 20-year-old man was stopped for a traffic violation by Coffee County deputies. The pair fled officers, and the chase eventually ended in Tullahoma when the suspect's vehicle struck Moon's truck at the corner of Jackson and Carroll Street around 12:15 a.m. Thursday morning. Moon, who was on his way to a late-night workout, died at the scene of the accident. He was 66 years old and had recently retired from his full-time job with the Recreation Department, but continued to work in a part-time capacity. The suspects were injured and transferred to Tenova Heart Regional Medical Center in Tullahoma. The names and conditions of the suspects have not yet been released. Moon was well known and hugely popular in the Tullahoma community, especially among the thousands of young people he had mentored in his many years with the Tullahoma Recreation Department.
Former Tullahoma resident Brad Scott recently donated 7 college football-related books to the Motlow State Community College Clayton Glass Library as part of the Books for Bins project. The project is named for Lawson Benz Jordan, who was the first radio play-by-play broadcaster of Motlow State sports in the 1970s. Jordan also worked at the Follett bookstore on Motlow's Moore County campus for a decade, provided color commentary on Tullahoma High School football broadcasts, and was co-host of the popular radio sports talk show Sports Plus. He died at the age of 67 from cancer in February of 2014.
The Books for Bins project was started by Motlow alumnus and former basketball star Andy Bates in 2014 with his donation of Wooden, A Coach's Life by Seth Davis. All Books for Bins are available for checkout at the library. Scott made the donation from his home in Port Charlotte, Florida, through his first cousin, Scott Chastain, Motlow's athletic director. Chastain said, quote, "It is important that the early pioneers of Motlow State athletics be remembered. Benz Jordan was the first person to promote Motlow's athletics in the media, and he was synonymous with the Bucks throughout his life. He loved Motlow. We are very grateful to Brad for his generous donation, and we appreciate him honoring Benz in this way," end quote.
Francis Samples with the Tullahoma Recreation Department stopped by our studios earlier this week to tell us about a new and exciting exhibit which will be on display this Friday at C.D. Stamps Community Center.
So what's coming up?
Well, on Friday, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but Arnold Air Force Base has a STEM program. The Arnold Engineering Development Complex has a STEM program, which is an outreach program to influence careers in K through 12 in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Well, we are hosting the Discovery Zone, which is a free full-size planetarium. It's a big blow-up that's going to go into CD Stamps.
How wonderful.
And the gym, and you go inside, and they have a surround sound, video, and audio that's around there. It's about astrology, of course. It's a planetarium. So.
And what time of day is that?
We have 3 shows, and they're 45 minutes apiece. The first 2 are geared towards children in elementary school. The first one starts at 10:30. And then the second one starts at 11:15.
And what age group would that be?
Those are both for elementary school.
Elementary.
And our last showing will be at 12 o'clock, and it's for middle school and up kids.
What an awesome, where does this come from?
Well, AEDC does this for free.
And they do it for free?
Yeah, it's an outreach program that they have.
That is a great thing for them to do.
Yeah, it's all about influencing the careers of science.
So I hope the word gets out to
oh yeah, we've got a couple slots left. Because it's limited
seating to so many. So how, if somebody wants one of those slots, what do? They
can call 461-1080 for reservations to get on the list. We have a couple slots still available.
Good.
So especially for the high schoolers and middle schoolers. So if they want to get on, that would be great too.
What a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, it's free, and don't miss out, honestly.
Don't miss,
yeah, it's going to be great. So,
a Nashville judge says details of a sexual harassment investigation of Republican State Representative Jeremy Durham can be open to the public. Chancellor Russell Perkins Tuesday denied Durham's request to seal evidence related to the probe, claiming it could hurt his re-election effort. Several female staff working for the General Assembly claimed they were subjected to unwanted attention by the Franklin elected official. State Attorney General Herb Slattery could release the results of the harassment investigation to a General Assembly committee today. Durham has denied any wrongdoing and has pressed ahead with his re-election effort. Earlier, Durham was removed from a Republican leadership position in the General Assembly.
Latest figures released this week show that the total Tennessee tax revenues in the month of June were once again more than budgeted expectations. Finance and Administration Commissioner Larry Martin reported Tuesday that June ended with a net positive growth of 6.16% compared to taxes in the same month last year. Overall, June revenues were $1.3 billion, which is $112.8 million more than the state budgeted. On an accrual basis, June is the 11th month in the 2015-2016 fiscal year. Sales tax revenues were $1.2 million more than the estimate for June. The June growth rate was 1.28%. For 11 months, sales tax revenues are over budget by $346.2 million. The year-to-date growth rate for 11 months was 7.18%. And stay with us. We'll be back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family is the largest automotive retailer in southern Middle Tennessee. With over 1,200 vehicles to choose from, we are your one-stop shop. Check out our awesome website, russellbarnett.com. There's over 1,200 vehicles to choose from. Stop by one of our 5 locations. That's Russell Barnett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Chevrolet GMC, and Ford of Winchester, or Russell Barnett Ford and Kia of Tullahoma. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Cool off this summer at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma Splash Island. fun for all ages. 3 25-foot slides. Lazy River, fun water features for toddlers. Tasty food items are available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 5. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back. Newsleader's John Gray spoke with a representative of the Franklin County Animal Harbor about a unique fundraiser they have coming up soon.
I'm fortunate to have a really fine-looking young lady up here with me today. Not only is she a fine-looking young girl, she's a very bright young lady too, and that's Caitlin Barstead, and she is with Animal Harbor in Winchester, Tennessee. And
yes,
welcome
sir.
to you, dear.
Thank you for having me.
You've been here before one time, haven't you? That's what I thought.
Mr. Lee Gibson.
That's right. I knew I recognized that face. So you're here because you have, last time you were here, y'all were trying to raise money to build a facility, right?
Yes, sir.
And have you gotten that facility built?
Oh, it's built, and we are fully up and operational. It's great. But again, we've raised all that money to build it, but now we got to keep it open.
Keep it open. So since you built your building, that allows you to serve more animals than you could before.
Yes,
right?
In 2015, we 20% increase in our intake, so it was almost 200 extra animals that we were able to save in 2015 with our new shelter.
And so when you say save, you are a rescue facility?
We are a limited admission, no kill animal shelter, which means we don't euthanize to make room for more animals. You know, we're kind of one in, one out, and we help find these animals homes. We help get them spayed or neutered, and just make sure they're happy and healthy and getting taken care of.
And when we say animals, we're talking anything from dogs to cats to ferrets to snakes to
pot-bellied pigs.
You got a pot-bellied pig?
We
over
did,
there? You
but
did?
she got adopted.
Isn't that great?
I know,
That's
it is.
Great.
It's amazing.
So what you need now that you have a new building is because you don't get government funding
no,
in any
sir.
way.
We are a private 501c3, which means we're run purely on donations of the generous members of our community.
And some grant writing.
And lots of grant writing.
Because there are some good groups of people out there in the cities
yes.
who have funded, put money together and trust companies and stuff who help people like you, but the majority of it comes from somebody in the community
pulling
reaching
out
in
their
their
wallet.
pocket and handing you what it takes to operate.
Yes, sir. But we try to offer people fun and interesting ways to do that donation. Right. So that's what I'm here to talk to you today about.
Okay.
Is our annual bone drop. So this is going to be our fourth annual.
Bone drop.
It's a bone
you
drop.
got a bone drop. I can't wait to hear this, folks.
So what we do.
What is a bone drop?
Okay, so what we do is we sell 150 bones at $100 a pop. So then on August 6th at noon down at our shelter at 56 North End Road behind North Middle School there in Franklin County, we have the Duck River Electric Company come down and they drop those 150 bones from about 50 to 75 feet onto this big target. And the person whose bone lands right there in the middle of that target is going to win $5,000.
$5,000?
$5,000, and Animal Harbor is going to raise $10,000 for Animal Harbor.
Now, how big are the bones? When you say they're going to drop a bone,
they're about this big. They're one of those giant milk bones.
Like a turkey leg bone, about that size.
Well, a little bit smaller. But we've got it tagged with their name and information when they purchase the bone.
Right.
And you don't have to be present to win.
Really?
But we're going to have a big event down there this year.
That's great.
The past few years it's been kind of small, but now this year we're on August 6th, again at noon. We're going to have food trucks down there. We're going to have face painting, games for the kids. We're going to try to make it a little bigger and better and encourage people to come down. And I hear Mr. Lee Gibson's going to be there.
Oh, is Lee going to be there? Well, I was getting ready to see if you're going to have any music. So if Lee's going to be around.
We'll try to get him to pull that guitar out of the truck.
Force Lee to play. It doesn't take a lot of arm twisting to force Lee to play. Lee loves to play, and I love when Lee does play because Lee Gibson's a very talented young man. Great songwriter, great entertainer, and a good supporter, a large supporter of all things good going on around here.
Nicest guy you'll ever meet.
He's a really, really good guy. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, and so if anybody wants to I think our number's running down there on the bottom of the screen.
There you go.
Yeah. They can call me, contact Animal Harbor if you want to purchase a bone. They're $100 a piece, but remember, you got a 1 in 150 chance to win $5,000.
Kaylin, thank you, dear.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
That is August the 6th.
At noon down there at Animal Harbor. You can contact me either at the number at the bottom of the screen or at cbarstad@animalharbor.org.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up right after these messages.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Grassroots host Tom Corrington spoke recently with the two candidates seeking the nomination to represent the Democratic Party in the upcoming August primary. Tonight we bring you part 2 of that interview.
How do you view the role of the Senate in these activities in terms of what their purpose is and how well it's functioning, and the good and bad of some recent seasons and politicians, and whatever's on your mind with respect to the Senate? Let's begin again with you, Alice.
Okay. Well, I felt that they wasted a lot of time in this session. Instead of choosing a state gun or a state book, they could have been addressing the Insure Tennessee issue better. There were people that showed up to tell them how they felt about it, and a lot of those people that I talked to felt shut down, like they weren't listened to. I've talked to people who said that when they call or email, they don't get an answer. And when they ask why a certain vote was voted a certain way, they're told we're not talking about that anymore. So I feel we need to listen, we need to answer people. If I make a vote, then I should be able to tell you this is why I voted that way. So the last time in session, I tried thinking of something good, and I really haven't come up with anything. So I felt that there was a lot of inaction on things that were important and a lot of action on things that really most Tennesseans probably don't care so much about.
Okay. Mike?
Tom, probably the best thing they did was adjourn. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but
and even a little early.
Maybe a little early. So, well, it is election year, so it's time to go home and campaign. But there was a lot, in my mind, there's a lot of wasted effort, a lot of wasted time, and and I can't really condemn them because hopefully their representation in the Senate or in the House. Those issues should have, and I hope were brought up because the citizens wanted it. I know the people I've visited with and that I've talked to on the back of my palm card are issues that the people in our district want. And none of those things were touched on. So I'm a little bit concerned that they weren't listening maybe to the people, but maybe to special interest. Governor Haslam, even approached the House and Senate to pass an Insure Tennessee policy to take care of 300,000 Tennesseans that are in a gap position, can't get insurance. And our Senate turned their back on them and walked away and wouldn't even negotiate. Now they have a task force, which I think is maybe a task in the mask force, looking into it. Well, it's too late. We're having hospitals closed, we're having health care denied, and we're having jobs lost because we weren't responsible. We should be responsible to the needs of the people, not to special interests, not to hire outside sources from our state. We need to worry about the people in our state and take care of those people.
What are a couple of the issues you think they wasted time on?
Probably naming a state gun. You know, I love going to church. I love my Bible. We had, you know, tons of money spent on trying to adopt the Bible as our state book. You know, I'm a firm belief there are moral issues in our country, but those moral issues aren't going to get solved by government. They're going to get solved in your heart. They're going to get transferred into your home, taken to your churches, and then out to the public. We can't name a book, because then we go back and say, well, which version are we going to name? You know? So there's a never-ending process there. We need to stay firm and attack the real issues and hold firm to that first.
What's your, this comes up every season and has for several years. What's your view on the amount of energy being spent on gun control? Go ahead, Mike, while you're at it.
I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. I also, years ago, had worked in law enforcement within our community because our cities couldn't afford police protection. So I volunteered several times to work back in Monteagle and Grundy County to help protect our citizens. Trained personnel need to be the people that are in charge of the guns and handling the guns. It scares me to death to know that a faculty member or someone on a student council now has a right to carry a weapon. When you're in a position where you're going to be shot at, trust me, you want trained personnel knowing what to do. You do not need just gun owners having guns on campuses. I own guns. I'll fight to the end to own my weapons, but we don't want to make sure we're putting them in the wrong places.
We'll be right back in a moment.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. One of the highlights of the Kiwanis Club's City of Tullahoma 4th of July celebration last Saturday was the Army Band's performance of the Lee Greenwood song, Proud to Be an American. Let's watch that performance.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. Well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, well, I'm proud
The Coffee County Humane Society's featured pet this week is Shaggy. Shaggy is a collie mix who would love to hang out with you on your front porch. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at Post Office Box 252, Manchester 37349, and their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a beagle mix named Lucy. She entered the shelter as a stray last November. Lucy is approximately 3 years old and is good with other dogs and children. Lucy is microchipped, up to date on her vaccinations, and heartworm negative. She will receive a free spay provided by the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. Be sure to check out the shelter on Facebook for information about upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1954 at 100 degrees. The record low was in 1967 at 54 degrees. The average high on this day is 88 and the average low is 67. Partly cloudy weather expected tonight with a low of around 72. 40% chance of storms in your forecast for Friday with a high of 86 expected and a low of 66. That chance of storms goes up to 50 on Saturday with a high of 88 and a low of 68. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.